My husband took his female best friend on a weekend getaway to Paris without asking me, so I exposed them. Plus update. Throughout the 4 years that my husband and I have been married, we have only ever encountered one major problem: his girl best friend. I would already be uncomfortable with the idea of that, but the fact that she is my husband's ex from high school is the real point of contempt here. We have argued about it many times in the past before, and each time he sticks to his guns, claiming he is just a friend, that their relationship is in the past and that I have nothing to worry about. However, her actions go against what my husband tells me. I have been around her quite a lot, and she has a very flirty personality. She will flirt with guys she does not know because she thinks it's amusing. She will grab guys' arms and lush over big they are and so on. She does this with my husband too, even in front of me. There has been many occasions where she downright flirts with him in front of me, then downplays her actions or claims she is just joking and messing around when I call her out on it. My husband usually backs her up. Needless to say, we don't like each other very much. While it is true she has crossed boundaries before, I have never found evidence of an actual physical affair going on. At most semi-flirtatious texts when she is drunk and my husband entertains her. I do trust my husband and always have, but what happened last week really made me doubt everything in our relationship. So her birthday was 2 days ago. I knew my husband was planning a big gift for her. As for the few months leading up to it, he was talking a lot about it, but whenever I would ask what the birthday present was, he would never fully reveal the answer. It planted doubts in my mind, but as I said, I trusted him, so I didn't suspect much. Well, my husband spent the night before her birthday awake most of the night doing something downstairs. I didn't question it then, but I now suspect he was packing. On the morning of her birthday, my husband woke me up and told me he was heading out. I asked him where he was going and he told me he was off to celebrate his best friend's birthday. He said not to text or call him and that he was okay. The fact he told me not to text or call worried me and I asked him why. He didn't give a direct answer again and muttered something about it being nothing to worry about. How I wish I could go back and confront him fully then and there. My instincts were telling me that whatever he was doing was super shady and that I should pry him for more information, but for some reason I naively trusted him and let him get into his car and drive away. That was the last time I saw him. I spent the whole day driving myself crazy, trying not to text him about it. The thoughts of him cheating boiled in my mind, and during the evening I had to invite my sister over just to keep me sane. I vented to her about it, and told her I suspected an affair between them. My sister told me that from her point of view that's exactly what it looked like, but we couldn't be so sure yet. She urged me to wait the rest of the day and not talk to him, and if by nighttime he is not back, call him and ask questions. She also advised me to confront him when he gets back and to be prepared for a fight and emotional manipulation. After a long talk about it, we decided to throw on a movie and spend the rest of the evening winding down. Halfway through the movie, my sister was scrolling her phone when she noticed my husband's Instagram story. She muttered what the F to herself, which caught my attention. She showed me the story and it destroyed me. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. My husband was at an airport in Paris, and his best friend's hand was in the frame. I looked through my phone, to see nothing on his account. This idiot blocked me from his story, but forgot to block my sister. I broke down crying immediately. It was true, they were having an affair, and were trying their best to hide it from me. But my husband exposed himself. I cried for a while as my sister comforted me. My husband, the man I loved dearly, spent months planning a getaway for him and his affair partner for her birthday while hiding it all from me. I don't think I can accurately describe how much it hurt. Every description in the world would be an understatement. I decided on a divorce there and then, because as much as I love him, I cannot forgive such a manipulative cheater. Then my sister suggested exposing the affair. I'm usually not the petty type, but in that moment I was filled with a lot of rage towards my husband. My sister screenshotted the story of my husband and sent it to me. I then sent it to his father, saying that his son was with another woman in Paris, as I am clearly at home, and sent him a pic of myself at home as proof. For context, my boyfriend's dad is the one who raised him. His mother cheated on his father when he was 3 and the mother and her affair partner ran away, leaving my soon-to-be ex-husband and father alone. His father has always been very strict and clear as to how wrong cheating is and how, as a self-respecting man, he should never cheat. My husband has seen firsthand how cheating destroys families, and that's what was instilled into him by his dad. His father thanked me for telling him and hung up. I got a call from my husband an hour later shouting at me. Apparently his father has disowned him for what he did. He had the audacity to tell me I ruined his holiday. We had a huge argument over the phone about his affair and he ended it by saying he doesn't want to talk about this anymore over the phone anymore, but apparently he can explain everything when he's home. But he told me he's not cutting the getaway short. He gets home later tonight and I'm scared of what's to come. Update: so my husband came back from his trip and we talked. The conversation was not what I expected. So I took the advice from my sister, which was when he came home not to attack him right away. She told me that's what he'll expect, and instead I should give him a minute to unpack, unwind and all. So when my husband came home I didn't ask about it, but rather just told him it's nice to see him. He didn't mention anything about the trip either, and it was only an hour after or so that we got to talking. Once again, I followed my sister's suggestions of instead of accusing him off the bat, asking him to explain himself. My husband started off saying he knows it looks bad. But it's not what it looks like. He told me that he did not go over there to sleep together. He told me that the reason they went over is because his best friend's grandma is very old and lives in France. They are extremely close and have not met up in a few years, and my husband figured he would surprise his best friend by booking her tickets to visit her grandma. I asked him where they stayed and he said they slept in separate rooms in the grandparents' house. I then asked him why he didn't just book her 2 tickets and tell her to invite whoever she wanted. He said that's what he did, and she insisted that he came with her. He states he felt obliged as it was his best friend. I sighed. I knew he was lying. You see, I spent the last 2 days going through his emails looking for things, and he had booked a hotel room for 2 for the weekend getaway. This was a few months ago. I then told him to explain the hotel room for 2. He froze. He started claiming he didn't know what I was talking about. But I kept pressing, demanding an explanation. And he finally caved. He says they shared a hotel room and they kissed. He swears up and down that they only kissed. She wanted to take it further but he stopped himself when he realized what he was doing. I was expecting this, but it still hurt so much. He went on to say we can fix this, and that I should forgive. When none of that worked he became angry. He yelled that it was my fault he was disowned by his father. That I'm a vengeful bitch. After he said that I had enough and left the house. He did not try to stop me physically, but he did keep yelling at me. I'm now at my sister's house and he won't stop calling me after I texted him that we're done and that I'm filing for divorce.